You ever get that feeling that your favorite apps can kind of read your mind? From the movies you watch to the stuff you buy, it's like there's this silent partner guiding your choices online. Well, today, we're going to peek behind the curtain at that partner, the recommendation system. Let's dive in and see how this whole thing actually works. I mean, it's a feeling we all know, right? You finish binging a great series, and almost instantly, Netflix serves up a new show that just feels perfect for you. So, is it magic? A really lucky guess? Well, not quite. And it's definitely not just Netflix. It happens on Amazon when you suddenly see an item you didn't even know you needed, or on Spotify when it just happens to create the perfect playlist for your mood. This technology is absolutely everywhere, and it's shaping our digital lives in some pretty powerful ways. So, how does it all happen? The secret isn't some kind of digital sorcery. It's actually a system that's constantly learning through what's called a feedback loop. And believe it or not, it all starts with you. Yep, you are the most important part of this entire process. Every single click, every search, every thumbs up or 5-star review you leave behind, that's the fuel for the engine. Let's break it down into its simplest form. First, you do something. Let's say you give a movie a big thumbs up. Second, the system snags that piece of data and analyzes it. And third, based on that analysis, a brand new recommendation pops up. This loop just runs over and over and over, getting smarter with every single thing you do. Okay, so to figure out what you'll like, the system basically has two main ways of thinking. The first is called collaborative filtering, and it's all based on what users similar to you also enjoyed. The second, content-based filtering, focuses on items that have similar characteristics to ones you already love. Let's dig into that first one. So this first method, collaborative filtering, is all about the power of the crowd. It's built on a pretty simple and, human idea. If we have similar tastes, there's a really good chance your future likes will line up with my past likes. The best way to think about it is this. Imagine you have a friend who loves all the same weird sci-fi movies that you do. If they tell you they just saw an amazing new film, you're probably going to trust their recommendation, right? Well, collaborative filtering is just that, but on a massive scale with millions of these digital friends. Here's how it works in practice. The system scans literally countless other user profiles to find your taste twins. Then it looks at the highly rated movies those twins have seen that you haven't. And voila, that becomes your next recommendation. All right, let's flip to the other side of the coin. What if the system doesn't look at other people at all? What if instead it focuses really, really intensely on the thing you just watched or bought? This is what we call content-based filtering. It pretty much ignores what everybody else is doing and instead does a deep dive analysis on the item itself, its features, its attributes, its very DNA, so to speak. For example, say you just watched and absolutely loved a sci-fi action movie starring a certain actor and made by a specific director. The system tags all those attributes: genre, actor, director, even the tone. Then it just searches its massive library for other movies that share a similar DNA and serves those right up to you. So we have these two really cool methods, one based on people and one based on content. But how does a computer actually decide that one user is similar to another or one movie is like another? Well, don't worry, we're not going to get too heavy, but it all comes down to a little bit of math. And this really is the key question. It feels intuitive to us as humans, but for a machine, this idea of similarity has to be translated into pure numbers. How in the world does it quantify something as personal as taste? Well, it does this using something called a similarity score, and it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a calculated number that just represents how alike two things are, whether it's comparing your viewing history with someone else's or the genre tags of two different movies. A higher score simply means a stronger match. To make this real, the system might calculate your taste match with thousands of other users. For instance, it might find that user A is a 95% match with you. I mean, that's practically your movie-watching soulmate. User B, on the other hand, is a much lower match at only 30%. So it's pretty obvious what happens next, right? The system is going to heavily, heavily favor recommendations from user A. The movies they loved, the products they bought, anything with that highest similarity score gets pushed right to the top of your list. Okay, so let's zoom out and see how all of these different pieces fit together to create the personalized internet that we all navigate every single day. See, the most powerful recommendation engines out there don't choose one method over the other. They actually use a hybrid approach. They combine the users like you idea from collaborative filtering with the items like this idea from content based filtering. The result is a deeply layered and, frankly, surprisingly accurate digital world built specifically around you. And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. This isn't just a gimmick to sell you more stuff. These engines are fundamental to how we experience the internet. They curate our entertainment, our shopping, our news feeds. They personalize our digital world in ways we're only just beginning to fully understand. So, the next time that perfect recommendation pops up, you'll know the intricate dance of data and algorithms that brought it to you. And it really just leaves you with one fascinating question to think about. What will they recommend next?